everybody. Welcome into Pugs Company. It's the high noon edition, heard every Monday through Friday, noon till about 2 o'clock. We also do a Pillow Talk edition if you're so inclined. That happens every evening, Sunday nights through Thursday nights. That comes on at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Programming note, not tonight. We got plans tonight. Let's bring in my partner in crime for the afternoon broadcast, as he is always here. His alias in the evening hours is, of course, Sunglasses. But here he is now. He's E, the artist. Hey, E, what's happening? Welcome in. How's life?
Life is all right. Looking forward to the game tonight.
Yes. Now, holy schmoly. Couple of questions. We're taking the boys. It'll be my boy's first college football game. I don't know about your boy, but
his third.
Oh, what other all SMU games?
No, he's been to a TCU game and a SMU game, so this will be his second SMU.
All right, very good. What's up, y'all? So tonight, Uncle E and myself and our two boys, we are going to the big SMU versus not Temple, not Tulane.
Tulane.
Yes, I was like, is it Temple? Is it Tulsa? No, it is Tulane. Ranked SMU. The Ponies are taking on Tulane University. That's in Louisiana, right? That's Baton Rouge, I think I want to say. I don't know. We actually got James Parker on today with us, so we can ask him to represent the Tulane Baton Rouge side of things. But here are my questions. Oh, it's also very exciting. This is a nationally broadcast ESPN game.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that they're playing on Thursday night, I think.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, because they typically play on Saturday afternoons. So tonight on ESPN, I believe kickoff is at 6:30 from Ford Field, right here off Mockingbird and 75 in the fabulous 1%er neighborhood of Highland Park, Texas. We'll be there.
Is that your Keith Jackson?
No, it wasn't. That was a generic thing. But gosh darn it almighty. Don't you remember? I mean, if there is a voice from my childhood, it is Keith Jackson. It is that guy. Man, I used to watch Saturday afternoon college football religiously. I loved it when I was little. And it was always, Fumba Hornelli. Keith Jackson was the best. Is he still alive?
I don't know. But I think if he is, he'd be in his 90s.
Bear Bryant and the Crimson Tide of Alabama take it on. I don't know who else.
Georgia Bulldogs.
I was going to say the venerable King Wolverine himself, Bo Schembechler. Bo Schembechler. Oh, Nelly Fumble. God, I loved Keith Jackson. So that's going to be fun tonight. Here, I have a couple of questions, though. And, you know, I was thinking, I don't know that we'll go the full 2 hours today. We might go 145. I'm trying to trim time wherever I can. I am so under the gun for time here because here's what I got to do. I got to clean. I got to really clean because my kid's going to be here this weekend. And if I don't clean before he gets here, by the time he leaves, this looks like a FEMA site. It looks like there has been some natural disaster that has occurred. So I got to get ahead of the curve. I got to clean it perfectly because he is going to trash this small but extremely comfortable space that we have here because there's not really, he has a tendency to leave dishes on the floor and then he'll hide instead of picking them up and walking 5 feet, he will just slide the dishes under a desk, so that they're out of sight, out of mind.
You need to get control of that.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. That is just obviously something that he takes from me because I am slovenly in my habitat. I have always, my bed, I call my bed my nest because I never make my bed. I like it to be a certain degree of effed up. It's my nest. It's where I nest. There's nothing worse for me than getting into a made bed at night. It'll take me 20 minutes to get it to the way I need it. See, this is another reason why I can't be married, why I want to sleep by myself, because nobody understands me. All right, but that's neither here nor there. Got to clean the house. I got to clean myself. I got to do like full on shaving and cleaning and all that stuff because I don't like to look slovenly whenever I get them. I got a shirt that I think I got to iron for the game tonight because you can't just, you want to look nice. You go not nice, but you want to look not slovenly is I guess what I'm trying to say. Got to go food shopping. Got to get him food shopping, and then I have to get all the way up to where he is, pick him up after football practice, take him home really quick so that he can change and shower and all that. That's going to take probably 15, 20 minutes. Then we got to get in the car. And then at some point, I'm thinking about maybe deli sandwiches because they'll keep. I'll have deli sandwiches in the car so that he can eat dinner because the game's at 6:30. And after football practice, he's going to be hungry, right? So I got to get some. Just look, I got so much stuff today crammed in to the hours that follow this show and me picking him up. So I'm going to be busy. Now,
It sounds like your mind is allowing you to overcompensate. I don't think you need that much time.
Well,
You got to clean an apartment. You got to get some deli sandwiches, and you got to get the Plano.
I got to go food shopping. He has no food here. There's no food here for him. I suppose I don't need to do that today. I can do the food shopping tomorrow after the show.
Yeah, how many meals is he going to eat between tonight and breakfast tomorrow?
Yeah, and I'm gonna probably shove like a Happy Meal down his throat or something. He'll have something before the game because that's the other thing, man. It's gonna be, Dad, can I? This game's gonna cost me $100. It is. I just know it is, and I'm going in knowing that. And because it's a special occasion, so I can't be the miser. You know what I mean? This is the memory. I don't want the memory.
Well,
to be
if you get there before kickoff, it's half price snack bar and half price beer.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen though. I'm probably the goal is to get there for kickoff. The goal is that's the goal, 6:30. Because I don't know. Here's the other problem: where I need to pick him up at in the North Dallas suburbs. Man, I'm picking him up right at the crunch of rush hour. I mean, how much of a cluster F is 75 going to be, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm going opposite direction than rush hour, so maybe it'll be all right. But there is always a cluster F right at 75 and LBJ, right there.
Yeah, that always does seem to have a little bit going on.
Oh, hold on. I started to get hiccups. That's not good. Got to calm down. Got to regulate my breathing. Learned how to manage hiccups in broadcast school. It doesn't work. Just like everything else I learned in broadcast school in 1991. Everything that I learned how to do is no longer applicable because once again, we are the generation with one foot in the analog era and one foot in the computer era.
Did you take like a business machines course?
No. I took an audio editing course. Same. Anyway, so my question is, what's the weather going to be like tonight? Like, is it going to be shorts and sweatshirt? Is it going to be shower jeans? What are we thinking? What do we know?
I got no idea.
Hiccups.
I haven't checked the weather.
See, you don't plan the way I do. You know why? Because you know how to adapt. I don't adapt well. If I'm cold at a football game, it's going to ruin the whole experience for me. I'll never have good memories of this. If I'm cold.
Well, all right. So you got a weather app?
That's another thing I got to do. I got to check the weather.
Well, you got to load the weather app?
There's 5 minutes right there. Yeah. I'm having some problems now. This is my body rebelling against the stress I'm putting myself under.
Man, I just got like an app on my phone. I hit the button. Okay, 1 p.m. it's 81 degrees. 2 p.m. it's 81. 3 p.m. it's 81. 4 p.m. it's 81. 5 p.m. it's 81. 6 p.m. it's 79. 7 p.m. it's 75. 8 p.m. it's 72. 9 p.m. it's 70.
Sweatshirt. Yeah. Okay, we're looking at shorts and a sweatshirt.
Okay. 68 at 10, 66 at 11.
One thing we know, my kid will be wearing a black hoodie because he wears a black hoodie when it's 98 degrees outside. That's his brain.
It says 0% of
Oh, it's going to be a beautiful night, man. It is going to be a beautiful fall night for football
Precipitation.
under the stars on ESPN tonight. The SMU Ponies taking on the what is Tuesday?
All right, so I just saved you 4 minutes because you said
did.
5 minutes to check the weather.
You did.
So look at that,
All
shaving
right,
things off.
before we get into what's trending, and there's a lot of fun stuff trending that I want to go over, I want to ask you something. Okay.
All right.
So lately we've
May
been
peace be with you every day in every kind of way.
we've been sampling the music stylings
Come into your
of
life.
failed presidential assassin and all-around lunatic John Hinckley.
Start of something new. Roses and
Okay, so there you go. That's John Hinckley. Song stuck in your head yet? I laid in bed last night singing that chorus. I was even at the Kroger yesterday browsing the soda aisle singing, this can be the start of something new. All right. So I'm a long-standing proponent of doing long play cons on kids. Okay?
Long play cons.
Long play cons on your
Okay.
kid. An example
Like Santa Claus.
that is a long play con, yeah, but that's a socially accepted long play con. My former partner and all around good gal, Kelly, she was the queen of the long play cons. She had her daughter, McKenna, who is now a Hollywood actress. She's out there in LA as an actress. Ooh, big hopes and dreams for that little one. Her long play con on her daughter, Kenna. I don't feel like I have the right to call her Mac, even though I have been calling her that since she was a baby. The long play con on McKenna was that Kelly would constantly change her birthday. So it was like it was like till she was 11 or 12 before she knew the real date of her birthday. Like whenever it was convenient, Kelly would say, well, your birthday's coming up. So this is,
She had a conflict. Her birthday changed.
So exactly. So it's just so funny that she just decided at some point that she was going to. So one of the things that me and my son have is music. We love each other's music, and usually when a parent is trying to get a kid to like the parent's music, it's there's a rebellion there. There's a
For sure.
But because I'm like totally cool with his music too, like when we're in the car together, I play a song for him, he plays a song for me. I play a song for him, he plays a song for me. And there is no spoken rule, but somehow we've been so cordial to one another about this that we always give each other credit for their song. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a good one. My turn. And then he plays some awful hip hop song that I have to pretend that I like. It's like,
or K-pop. Forget the hip hop.
Yeah, no, it's, but he's like he makes me listen to like video game soundtracks, like full orchestration, like big, like he loves the soundtrack to some combat game. What is the combat game? Some World War II, something.
World War Z.
No, World War II. No,
Oh.
It's a video game that takes place in World War II. He loves it. And what is that video game? It's like a really popular shooter game.
Do we have it downstairs?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
I see him playing a shooter game on PS5, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you do. You got a lot of stuff down there that I'm unaware of. But anyway, it's some orchestration. It sounds like classical music, and he loves it. And so I listen to that, and I'm like, hey. So here's the long con that I want to play for him. Okay, this is in the car today. I want to play this. I want to play him some John Hinckley. Okay. However,
each and every day,
night, whatever.
May you walk in righteousness and always do what's right.
I got to learn the lyrics.
This can be the start of something new.
So I want to play for him some John Hinckley cuts, right? But I'm going to present. I'm Call of Duty. Thank you. Yeah, Call of Duty World War II. That's the game.
Yeah, we have that downstairs.
But I'm going to play him some John Hinckley music, but I'm not going to tell him who John Hinckley is. And I'm thinking about presenting John Hinckley as someone in the realm of like Dylan and Springsteen, like some guy who hasn't done music in a long time. And I want to see because I want to see what he really thinks of that song. I want to hear what he really thinks of John Hinckley's music. And then my hope is that he will go out into the world and start telling people that he likes John Hinckley's music without knowing who John Hinckley is. Is that awful or is that awesome?
I'm gonna have to get into this.
Like I
you
just
know
pulling his
immediately if he
stepdad
doesn't
about
like it, yeah. I'm gonna have to figure out how to weigh. I'm gonna have to like.
Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May everyone be on your side at each and every turn.
journey, whatever.
And may you have
one more time with the
smoothest
chorus.
ride. Receive what you have earned. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you.
What if
Well, you know how the two of them fight back and forth, him and Dominic?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the song we play if they're fighting.
Their theme song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they don't stop fighting, we just keep playing that just on and on and on.
I also have some, I've been compiling. We didn't get to it last night because we were joined by the wonderful Parker family. But I've discovered some other music by some sketchy artists loosely, people famous for other things. But, they learned how to play guitar and now they're writing music. So maybe I'll just make a whole compilation album of really sketchy stuff for them. All right. So I'll have to decide if that's what we're going to do. Also, programming note, there will be no show tonight because we're going to the game and I have my kid and we can't stay up till midnight because he's got school in the morning. So we got an early morning and all of that. So we're gonna come back from the game. We're gonna have what time should the game be over? Like 9:30. Probably be home by 10:30.
I would think about 3 hours.
Okay, so let's see
get some crazy overtime.
We can only hope. Bedtime tonight for him, I guess, is going to be 11 o'clock. So yeah, no show tonight. I apologize. And then we'll do a show tomorrow, normal high noon show tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. James is here. I don't know. Okay, that was good. Okay, I just got a text from Mama. Mama Bear says his practice wraps at 4 today. So, all right. So that I just saved myself about a half hour. Very good. That's
I
very
saved
good.
you 4 minutes. She saved you a half hour.
Yeah.
34 minutes. You ought to be able to clean the apartment, get the vacuum.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not worth it. You vacuum after he leaves. It's just not worth it to vacuum before he comes. It's just like, throwing good money after bad. All right. Let's start off with our moment of joy. You've been very critical of my moments of joy, and this one today comes with an asterisk. I needs a little bit of an explanation on this one, but the situation behind this moment of joy I found to be funny. So here, let's do this. Yeah. All right. So last night when we got off the air, a guy that we had been talking about recently, Carrot Top, was trending. And I didn't know why Carrot Top was trending.
He had more plastic surgery.
Yeah, there was a big debate over when he actually got swole under the Carrot Top heading. But the reason that Carrot Top is trending is because of this. All right, here you go. You see this?
That's not Carrot Top.
It could be, though. It looks like Carrot Top, right? I mean, from the back. Well,
he's not swole enough.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the debate of that's not Carrot Top, it's too swole. He's not swole enough. Carrot Top is swole. That's Kathy Griffin. I just thought it was funny that Kathy Griffin did a video that she had hoped would go viral because that's the whole reason they do these things, is for a little bit of attention. And she didn't get any attention. Carrot Top did because of how weird her hair is. All right, there you go.
That's that hair's a little, I don't know, weird.
Yeah, there she is. Jeff Glenn, please excuse Jeff's absence during last night's show. He fell asleep. Epstein's mother. That's fine. we do the show a little bit late. Yeah, although yesterday's show I thought was kind of fun. I thought the Pillow Talk show before that was more fun. But I lay there in bed and I rate the shows. We had one terrible show this week, and I don't remember which one it was, but it made me go into my bedroom and be very upset with everything. Existential crisis was experienced in the hours after that show. But then every show since I thought has been pretty good. I've been bringing more energy, been trying to be a little bit more fun, a little bit less angry. This is going to be a good show. So
it was the Monday night show.
Was it?
I take responsibility. I was pissed.
Oh, it was the Buffalo show. You gave me nothing to work with. You were in a bad mood and it was just done. But that's okay. Sometimes those shows are good. They're cleansers, because what that show did was the following like 4 shows have been fine. I've been like, yeah, that's okay.
Ed texted me. He said, I would think that your screen was frozen if not for the fact that your TV was blinking in the background.
Yeah, you saw that.
I guess I look like Weekend at Bernie's.
So what we do on this show here is we like to go through all the things that are trending, all the things that people are talking. It's a bit of a current events exercise here on the High Noon broadcast every day, Monday through Friday at noon. So let's get into it. We start off with...
I thought James Parker was here.
He is. He's
just letting him sit in the chat room?
No. He's going to pop in. He's eating lunch. He gave me some sort of hand signals that he was going to go and grab lunch. And I don't know, maybe he doesn't eat on the air or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I shouldn't either.
What's the dog doing? The dog out patrolling the neighborhood?
Well, the good news is that the yard guy has already made it here.
Okay.
So I took the doggy doors off, the protector doors off. Yeah, so she should be able to roam the backyard. But we still got to figure out how she's getting out.
I feel like I'm way more worried about this than you. I feel like I've spent way more time because I'm hearing her in the backyard and I'm like, what side of the fence is she on? Did she get out again? We are thinking that the dog is jumping from a second-story balcony onto the ground below and surviving. We are not dumb men. We may not be as formally educated as some people, but we are not innocence when it comes to
We've got some street smarts.
Yes, we do. And we cannot figure out.
If we were going to escape a backyard, we're perplexed at how she's getting out.
Yeah.
But last night when the door knocked at about 8:30 and the guy's like, I have your dog. I was like, no, you don't. Like in my mind, that's what I was thinking. And then I looked and there she was right down the street. And sure enough.
And she's not digging a hole under the fence.
There's no hole. The gate was there. This is the second time now in about a week that she's gotten out.
Last Friday she got out and last night she got out.
And she does have an opportunity if she jumps off the balcony to hit the ground.
It's so high, though. I live on a second-story apartment, and there are steps and a big, beautiful deck off the back of my apartment. And the dog likes to sit out on the back deck of my apartment. She likes to get up on the chair and put her hands on the railing. Well, she can't do that anymore because I moved the chair. But she used to like a guard at a prison. She would just survey everything 2 stories below. And the only way that we can figure she's getting out is that she is jumping 2 stories to the ground. She's a very athletic dog.
And they do say that Catahoulas have the ability to climb trees.
And then jump out of trees.
I'm still not sure that she's not climbing the fence somehow. But I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out. She's got a collar on. She's got her name tag. Obviously, it worked.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, we need to put an electric fence out there along the perimeter of the fence, and she needs to wear the little collar so that when she gets like within an inch of that fence, she knows to back off so she won't go through. And it's not cruel; it's training. She'll figure it out. She'll know where she can go and where she can't go. But for a couple of weeks, we'll be in here doing the show. She'll be in the backyard, and we'll hear.
Well, first we take down the tree. Then we get the fence.
God, the tree that's going to kill me one day. One day it's gonna. We don't need to go into it, but we've got this giant, beautiful pecan tree in the backyard, and it's got a branch that hangs precariously above my living quarters, and this branch needs to be reinforced with cabling that keeps it from crashing
It
through.
does have a cable in
I
it.
know,
but it's grown over the back house. So now I don't know. I'm done with that tree. I don't care if it's 150 years old or not. It's coming down.
Oh, that's good. It's a gorgeous tree. It's a beautiful tree. But do it for Leonard Skinnard. Do it for Leonard Skinnard, because Leonard Skinnard's plane crashed into a grove of pecan trees. So let's take this one out for Leonard Skinnard, right?
Yeah. Well, they said that they'll mill the trunk for me so I can make some tables out of it. I
Make
like
a cool ass
tabletops.
Leonard Skinnard table and then sell it to some hillbilly.
Yeah.
Some rich hillbilly who wants a Leonard Skinnard table.
All right. What's trending?
I got ideas. All right. Trending earlier today. Today was a difficult one for trends. Typically, I'll give you my criteria. I like to only go back 6 hours. Show starts at noon. I like to, try and do it from 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever was being discussed on the morning shows. Today, I had to go deeper because I went full 12 because there was just way too much bad, divisive, the stupid stuff that was trending. And there's a couple that we're going to include because they were just too interesting for me to ignore. But I went back a little bit later. So last night, this was trending last night, Texas schools. And I thought this was a good one to start with because, we're here in Texas. We both have kids in Texas schools. People who are in the chat room right now, they have kids in Texas schools. So do you know why Texas schools are trending today?
Man, I hope it's not for why I think it is.
What do you think it is?
Because their grading is getting worse and worse.
Oh, no. No, but this is like a whole other thing. School officials in Texas have forced a 9-year-old boy to serve an in-school suspension for a month in-school suspension, depriving him of recess and normal lunch breaks, and have banished him from campus to an alternative school. Why? What do you think this kid did? It's 2021. It's 2021.
Probably something violent.
In the year 2021, all this is happening to this kid because this local school board just north of Houston has now decided that boys can't have long hair. This is a long hair rule that has been adopted by the school district. A 9-year-old boy is being brutalized because he has long hair. And yeah, emotionally brutalized, psychologically brutalized, probably not physically brutalized, but you get my point. This is madness. This is you have a 9-year-old boy with long hair.
Very long hair.
What if
he gets mistaken for a girl sometimes because of his long hair?
He's got hair like his dad. He's got long, flowing locks of hair. What if
he wouldn't have it any other way? He wants it to be that way.
What if the school did this to Dom? Well, I mean, what are we talking about here?
He wouldn't be going to that school anymore.
It's absolutely insane. The boy has refused to obey what he believes is an unjust school policy that bans boys from having long hair. Let's be honest. That's not really the 9-year-old who's refusing it. It's his parents. The 9-year-old does what the parents say. This is insane. Well, the boy identified as AC in court documents as one of 7 students suing a Texas school district for what they call a discriminatory policy that requires boys, but not girls, to wear short hair. The ACLU of Texas filed the lawsuit Thursday on the student's behalf against the Magnolia Independent School District, which serves some 13,000 students about 40 miles northwest of Houston. Students aged 7 to 17, they allege that the district's policy prohibiting boys from wearing long hair is based on gender stereotypes. Let's see, this is where the ACLU screws it up.
I got a pro tip to fix it.
What?
Just tell me he identifies as a girl.
Well, now we got a whole other can of worms that we've opened up here. Now that's all.
But I mean, he can't be told he's got to cut his hair then.
Wow. I'm telling you. I mean, it is the year 2021, and we're still telling what?
Who cares?
Well, the Magnolia School District.
No, but I mean, like, what? I mean, how long could it be to be creating a distraction?
Well, I saw a picture of the kid, except I don't have it on this particular story where I pulled that from. It's not Crystal Gale in 1977. It doesn't go down to his butt. It's long hair. It's like yours. It's long hair. It's not crazy long. It's 1970s stoner long. Which is a fashionable look today.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's weird. Like, people are getting mad because they're being told that they have to get vaccinated. Now you're being told that you can't have long hair.
What about freedom? I thought this whole thing was about freedom, right? Don't Chinese my freedom. Don't dictator my free. You know what I mean? You're making them wear. You're making my mask. Where's my freedom of choice? Get the vaccine. Where's my freedom of choice? That kid's got long hair. Let's put him in detention for a month. What? There is no consistency among these people. None.
Wow.
No intellectual consistency whatsoever. All right, moving on. Also trending. This is actually something that was trending in the last 6 hours. So this is a legit trending topic for today. We have two people trending right next to each other. The name's Watson and the name Tua. Now this is because we got big football dealings happening right now. There is a 3-team trade in the works that will bring Houston Texans controversial, what do we call him? Quarterback Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins.
Embattled.
Embattled. Yeah. Watson, boy, this guy, he took a bad time to take a stand. Deshaun Watson 6 months ago was demanding to be traded out of the Houston Texans because he didn't like the new general manager, wasn't sure about the new coach. He didn't want to waste his career on a team that had a history of not really doing anything to support their superstar players. They traded away Hopkins. You know what I mean?
J.J. Watt.
Lost. Yeah. So Deshaun was very pissed off about having to play his entire career. Maybe he ought to pick up the phone and call Archie Manning about having to play your entire career with a garbage team. Archie Manning, had he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, would be one of the most celebrated quarterbacks in the history of football. But he played his entire career for a team that never won more than 4 games in a season.
For the Aints.
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints. But different times. So Watson wanted out. He was demanding a trade. He was getting all huffy and puffy. And then 1 month after that, it was revealed that he's being investigated for the rape and sexual assault of a whole bunch of masseuses. Apparently, he was one of these guys that likes to get a sports massage because he's got legitimate need for a sports massage. Football players, they do this regularly. But apparently, he wanted a happy ending after all of his sports massages, and some of the massage therapists have a problem with that. There's more details. We don't need to go into all of it. You can, please, all you got to do is Google search Deshaun Watson's legal troubles, and you'll find detailed analysis of what exactly is being accused of. But it was a bad time for him to take a stand against the team and then be under suspension and investigation by the league for these very serious charges that are against him. So what we have here is the Miami Dolphins, who just 3 seasons ago, their rally cry was tanking for Tua. They were going to tank all of their games on purpose so that they would be able to draft Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. And they did. They got Tua. But now they're not happy with Tua because, just like everybody said, Tua ain't NFL quality. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Miami games.
And he's been hurt a bunch.
He has, yes. They when they drafted him, he was just coming off this major hip surgery. And he's been playing for a couple of years. And, he hasn't, look, we don't know. In all fairness to Tua, the jury is still out. But Miami is ready to move on. They feel that they've got a team right now that they can win with. All they need is a quarterback, a leader, someone to take them to the next level. So the Miami Dolphins are actually interested in trading away the guy that they were tanking for just 3 seasons ago in order to get Deshaun Watson, who, if there are no criminal charges filed against Deshaun Watson right now. Everything is a civil charge. He's being sued civilly by these women who claim that he sexually, harassed them or whatever. And he's under investigation by the NFL, so he can't play. The NFL is really slow rolling this investigation because
he's not even scheduled to be deposed until next February.
Yeah. So Miami which I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I mean, who would trade for Deshaun Watson right now? They are willing to trade away the guy they were tanking for, Tua, to the Washington Redskins in order to get Watson to Miami. It's a 3-team trade. It's Watson will go to Miami, Tua will go to Washington, and then I think Washington is going to give Miami a 3rd round. That's the discussion that I saw.
Evidently, Washington doesn't think Miami knows what they're doing with their quarterbacks because they also took Fitzpatrick from Miami.
Yes, and that's one of the things that they said why this would work, because Tua and Fitzpatrick apparently get on famously. Apparently, they're good friends, and Tua was Fitzmagic's backup in Miami until he got hurt, and that's how Tua ascended to the starting role. And then they ended up saying, we're going to stick with Tua, and they got rid of Fitz, and Fitz is now in Washington. Washington has their own problems, though. They've got this Heineke kid who is like a 3rd or 4th string practice squad dude at best, and 2-4, I think the Washington football team is. So that's interesting. That's why that's trading. There's big doings in the NFL today. Watson, Tua, Fitz, Heineke, all of those were trending at some point in the last 6 hours. So good luck to them. However, I don't think Watson's going to play this year. Yeah, Miami might do
I'd be shocked.
Oh, you must really not like Tua's future if you're willing to do this and roll the dice on Watson being your quarterback.
Well, I think you really don't like the way you started the season. I think they got 1 win. They just got beat by Jacksonville, or wasn't it some crazy team just beat, like a losing team just put it up on them?
Yeah, in London. Yeah. They lost in London to Jacksonville.
So, I mean, I think as far as their hopes for this year, they've probably flushed them.
All right. Also trending today, this is so bizarre. This goes hand in hand with something, I've been talking about the last couple of nights. I found on YouTube, I found the entire catalog of VH1's Behind the Music documentaries, and they're without commercials. So they're all like 43 minutes. They're wonderful. And I've been watching them and watching them and watching them. And I had a weird yesterday afternoon, I had one on in the background while I was doing some other stuff. And it was VH1's Behind the Music, not a band, 1987. It was a focus on the year 1987. And I'm like, oh, okay, high school days. I can get into that. I'm going to watch that. And Tawny Katane is trending today. Tawny Katane, you remember? Here I go again.
Wasn't she the girl on the hood in the car in Whitesnake?
Going down the only. Yeah. She was David Coverdale's wife.
I think she's dead. Didn't she die?
She did die. She died 5 months ago, and that's why she's trending right now. She is trending because Tawny Katane's, this is when we got into this last night. It's been 5 months on Tawny Katane to find out how she died.
Let me guess, fentanyl.
No, not fentanyl, but that would be a very good guess. Tawny Katane, 57 years old, died 5 months back. And if you're of my generation, Tawny Katane is one of the great all-time babes of the 1980s. I mean, that Whitesnake video where she's wearing the long white lace dress and she's on Coverdale's Jaguar, I think it was, and he's singing, here I go again, and she's just writhing along on that was pretty hot back in the day, man. She was really something to behold. But then before that, for my generation, we knew her as the good girl wife or soon to be wife of Tom Hanks in Bachelor Party, in the movie Bachelor Party, where she played the prim and proper rich girl that Tom Hanks was trying to be a good boy for, but his friends threw him a bachelor party that was just totally off the rails and insane. Mm-hmm. And he knew that she couldn't handle it because she was a prim and proper good girl. She wasn't. Tawny Katane was a bad girl in real life. Remember before she died, a couple years before she died, she got into a big thing because she was married to Chuck Finley, Major League Baseball pitcher, Cleveland Indians. And they got into a fist fight. And apparently she punched him in the face while they were driving and they got into some kind of car accident or something.
Never should punch your significant other in the face while driving.
No, that's a bad move.
That's like a bad move for both of you.
Yeah. Gabby Petito Gabby Petito is accused of doing the exact same thing, punching old Brian Laundrie in the face while driving.
At 15 miles an hour.
Julia E. Catane, better known as Tawny. Catane passed away at 59 earlier this year. The Orange County Coroner's Office said Catane died from dilated cardiomyopathy, which means that her heart was all jacked up. At 57 years old and a fitness freak, a woman who looked really good at the end of her life, that's because of some extenuating circumstances that she put her body through over the years. It's always interesting to me when drug addicts are also fitness freaks. That happens a lot.
So dilated cardiomyopathy, what caused that? Is
It's
that just the
fatty buildup around the arteries?
a fatty heart?
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing that I think got George Michael.
Yes, and another person who's trending today, and we'll talk about them as well. The Orange County Coroner's Office said Catane died from dilated cardiomyopathy. Contributing factors include mild coronary arteriosclerosis,
Hardening of the arteries.
mirtazapine, which I believe is a drug, mirtazapine metallite, alprazolam, which is another drug, acetaminophen, pregabalin, and hydrocodone, painkillers. So she was taking a lot of drugs and probably addicted to painkillers, just like so many other Americans are. And they did her in. They ultimately did her in. Catane, best known for portraying Tom Hanks' girlfriend in the 1984 comedy Bachelor Party. That is not what she's best known for. She is best known for the Whitesnake video. She also appeared in several music videos for 80s rock band Whitesnake, including the 87 smash hit, Here I Go Again on My... Catane was married to Whitesnake singer David Coverdale, from 89 to 91. Catane also married baseball player Chuck Finley of the Cleveland Indians for 3 years, whom she had 2 daughters with. They divorced in 2002. After their divorce, Catane appeared in several shows, including The Surreal Life, Botched, and a season of VH1's Celebrity Rehab, which chronicled her lifelong struggle with substance abuse. So, there you go.
Like, what took 5 months? Have you ever seen the places, any lab test now?
Yeah, but I mean, this is why they do this with celebrities, because there's a feeding frenzy when they die to exploit the death, to sell magazines or get clicks or whatever. So they slow roll it and they wait for people to lose interest, and then
we get interested again. So it then trends. It's almost like they need them to have another 15 minutes of fame after they're gone.
Yeah, but this is like the modern day equivalent to when you make a mistake on the front page, you then bury the retraction on page 15. Everybody sees the front. So, the death was the big one. That was the front page. Everybody's like, blah, 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 blah. Now we're getting these little details, and they just waited. It's a bit that they do. But anyway, so back to VH1, Behind the Music that I was watching, the year 1987. And it's funny that Tawny Catane is trending today, because I said this to myself, not out loud because I'm not a crazy person, but I said it to myself in my head. I thought it, I guess, is the way to present this. The VH1 1987 special opens with, are you ready? These are the people that they feature in the opening 5 minutes. Tawny Catane, dead. George Michael, dead. MCA and the Beastie Boys, dead. Whitney Houston, dead. John Candy, dead. It was like dead. I'm like, and they were alive then when this feature was going. And I'm like, holy crap. That is weird that they just rattled that the first 5 people that they featured in this thing are all dead. Also, on VH1's Behind the Music, if you fall into a Behind the Music hole like I have, you will learn that within the first 30 minutes of the show, every single band featured is described as the hardest working band and hardest partying band in rock and roll. Everybody was. Everybody. They said it about Styx. They said it about REO Speedwagon. They said it about the Black Crowes. They said it about Grand Funk Railroad. They said it about Guns N' Roses. They said it about Foreigner. It's like a stock line.
Party like a rock star.
But it's the same damn. They're the hardest working band in rock and roll, but also the hardest partying. It's like, well, I guess that's why they give VH1 specials, right? Because if they weren't, they were a boring band. There wasn't one on Rush. Those guys were boring. Those guys played with army men and they played Dungeons and Dragons after concerts. Rush was lame. They were nerds, but cool. Don't you badmouth Rush. There you go. That's my hunk on VH1 and Tawny Katane. But yeah, I just thought it was strange that they were all dead. And the one I'd say the most shocking one is Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's the one that back, because the way she's presented in the 1987 VH1, it's when she was just the girl next door. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. You know, she's wearing a sweater and a nice little skirt. She's not being sexy at all, but she's gorgeous. Like you can tell, wow, that's a beautiful woman. Not being over sexualized. You know, she was just like the good girl. And it's like, that girl's a crackhead. I'm like, that girl right there turns into a crackhead.
Yeah, you know, if you were gonna bet like her dead or Bobby Brown, I think you would have said Bobby Brown.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Bobby Brown with My Prerogative, when that came out, that was awesome. That dude was awesome. Okay, so Tawny Katane, not Tawny Katane, but Whitney Houston was the most shocking one of these people that are actually dead now, that died way too soon. The saddest one for me, I don't know if it's a toss-up between MCA, the Beastie Boys, or John Candy. Both of those are sad. But John Candy, you could look at John Candy in 1987 and go, if that dude doesn't start taking care of himself, he is not going to be a 90-year-old man. John Candy was obese. He was very fat. He was a chain smoker. Not a drinker or a drugger. That has never been, although if you're a fan of Second City TV and have read stories and bios about that, you'll know that John Candy, as a 20-something-year-old, could party with anybody. But when he was older, you know, in his 40s.
Yeah, fat white comedian is not a good recipe for longevity.
Oh, Ralphie May, rest in peace. Our good friend Ralphie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tragedy. MCA was cancer. That was sad. That happened over the course of a number of years, where we knew that MCA was not going to be with the Beastie Boys much longer. So that was a sad one. So John Candy and MCA were the sad ones. Whitney was the shocking one. George Michael too, though.
Yeah, that was a locally sad one.
George Michael lived right around the block here, right around the corner.
He did, a couple streets down.
Yeah.
And I participated in his art charity.
Yeah.
MTV Redefine, where they would raise money for kids for sexual awareness.
When I go jogging, I always jog by George Michael's house because I like to look and see if there's anything going on in there. Have you ever been inside there?
I was inside George Michael's house many a year ago.
Yeah. I want your sex. Wouldn't that be a cool doorbell? But you gotta have, instead of ding dong, it's but you gotta have faith. I gotta have faith.
So he was married to Kenny Goss, and I was very good friends with Kenny's brother. I'm good friends with Kenny
Goss, local art dealer, local artist,
with the Goss Michael Foundation. But his brother Tim and I were running buddies for a while.
Really?
And one time, Tim had the keys to George's house and Kenny's house, and they were back in England. And so, I got to go through the George Michael house without them being present.
Was it cool? Was there like,
oh, it was way cool. Like they had he had an art collection that was nuts, like crazy nuts, like just all kinds of like really well-known artists and expensive paintings. And, but it's in Highland Park, so it was secure.
Yeah, and you were allowed to be there because you were with.
And I was allowed to be there, and we had keys.
Yeah,
but
cool.
There was a bunch of just like crazy stuff. It was kind of weird, to walk around like George Michael's house, and see his personal artifacts, and know that he was dating Kenny's brother.
I don't think I've ever had
not
that.
Michael, Tim's brother. not Kenny's brother.
Yeah.
Tim's
Oh, so
brother.
this is when they were dating before they got married, before they were a couple.
Yeah, well, I guess they were they married? I don't know. Did they ever actually get married? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were. I think that's how it's been.
And then they got divorced, and then they got back together, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, they were. Well, it wasn't. He wasn't with Kenny Goss when he died. That was when he was with some other guy. But and there's like lawsuits. You can like look into this whole thing.
Oh yeah, it didn't. It ended up kind of ugly.
Yeah. But truth be told, right around the corner here, George Michael's Faith House. I could have faith. All right. Also trending because we seem to be on an 80s kick. Michael Bay is trending. Are you familiar with Michael Bay? Michael Bay, one of the most maligned filmmakers of the past 30 years, but also one of the most successful. Michael Bay he's got a new movie coming out called Ambulance, and the trailer was released, but we won't watch it. But it looks exactly like what you'd expect from a Michael Bay movie. Car chases, things blowing up, people in danger. Michael Bay, in my opinion, Michael Bay made two really great movies. The first one is his first movie, Bad Boys. You know, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Bad Boys spun a couple of sequels. The movie that many people say made Will Smith's career because that was the first like blockbuster and that was Michael Bay's first. And then he made Armageddon. Those are like the two Michael Bay movies that I will watch anytime they're on. I love Armageddon. Armageddon, there is so much. Wait a second. You mean to tell me that we are going to be hit by a massive asteroid and the only people that you can think to save us are offshore oil platform workers? That we're going to turn them into astronauts. We're going to teach them how to do their job in zero gravity. And this is your plan. I love Armageddon, despite all of that. Armageddon's great. But he also made a lot of really stupid shit, like all the Transformer movies. Ugh.
He probably made the most amount of money with those, though.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, look, that's the thing about Michael Bay. Every single one of his movies made insane amounts of money, except for Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is the one that he spent a whole lot of money on in like 2000, 2001. And it was supposed to be the movie that was going to legitimize him as an actual filmmaker. And then the critics just crapped all over it and nobody saw it. So that's kind of like his big bomb.
Was that his most expensive one?
I don't know if it's, well, maybe per, adjusted for inflation of the times and all of that stuff. Yeah, it might be because I remember at the time that was a very expensive movie. He recreated all of these battleships and sets in Hawaii and, all of that stuff. And then it bombed and nobody liked it. Apparently Adam Reyna liked it. Pearl Harbor is a decent movie. There you go. So that's all counts. It just matters what you think. I've never seen it. I've never seen it because of all the bad press that it got. I was like, not going to see that.
I never saw Waterworld because of all the bad press it got. Uh-oh. What?
Been fighting this battle for 30 years now.
Okay. I guess I'm not comfortable with the battle or familiar with the battle.
Waterworld is one of my favorite films. I love Waterworld, and I just don't understand why everybody hates it. Now, The Postman, which is another big Kevin Costner movie that's like maligned from East Coast to West Coast. Nobody likes that movie was boring. Postman was dumb. Waterworld was awesome. I loved Waterworld. I just didn't get why everybody hated it.
And I never saw it because everybody said it sucked.
Waterworld is cool, man. Waterworld is on the list of movies that I'm going to watch with my kid that I want him to watch. And I want him to... Kevin Barber! Oh, my God. Kevin Barber and I have been friends for 40 years now, and we first bonded because we have the same sense of humor. Kevin Barber says, I feel that way about Ishtar. Ishtar is hysterically funny. Ishtar is a movie that almost destroyed the careers of Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, but it is so funny. Kevin, thank you so much for saying I don't know anybody that loves Ishtar. Ishtar is the story of actually, I haven't seen it in so long, but they go over, it's about two American comedians, New York actors or whatever, and they go over to the Middle East and they have to, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. I got to watch it again, but I believe it's either an Elaine May or a Mike Nichols film, or it's a Nichols and May film, and they're brilliant writers. So I just never got why everybody hated Ishtar, but Ishtar was great. There's a topic for the Pillow Talk show. Movies that nobody understands why you like them. And we can argue about them. It's, Ishtar and Waterworld are right up there. Yeah. They portrayed, that's it, Kevin. They portrayed a poor man, Simon and Garfunkel, who had to go over and play clubs in the Middle East. And they got into all kinds of intrigue. And it's funny. It's funny. It is reminiscent of the old Bing Crosby, Bob Hope on the road movies from the 40s, where they make no sense, but there are moments of pure joy. All right. We'll move on. Michael Bay is trending. Here, this is a fun one that we can get into. This is trending. This I wanted to talk about. Okay, so there is a tournament. James, I wish James could be here for this one, because we're getting to a point here now where, hold on. Mr. Popular. Sorry, folks. Hold on. I just got what could be an important... You want to see the text that just interrupted the show? See, I'm in constant communique with my son's mother, the mama bear, and so I have to be monitoring my text. Typically, I would have my text down during the show, but I have to, we got big doings this afternoon. Do you want to know the text that just interrupted this show? Do you need auto parts? Call toll free. What? I'm getting commercials via my texts. What the hell?
How did she send you that?
No, she didn't.
Oh.
She didn't. I thought it could be her, so that's why I have my sound up for my text.
Oh, okay.
All right. So there is. Are you a fan of the tournament system? Because classic TV songs was trending last night. This is another one we had to go back 12 hours, but I put it aside. I was going to talk about this regardless.
The tournament system, meaning like the bracket system?
Yeah, like the bracket system, like we have for March Madness. James, are you on? I can't tell if you're here. It looks like he's sitting there. Let me bring him on and see if he's. Oh, there he is. James Parker.
Hey, fellas. Good to be back.
I'm sorry. I hope you weren't sitting there for a long time. I thought you went out to go have lunch, and I didn't see you sitting there.
I did go out to have lunch, and I just sat down. So perfect timing, whatever was going on.
Very good.
If you capitalize the E, it would be I am E.S. Parker on your graphic.
Oh, yeah. Because I see how that.
Okay, I see that. Yeah.
I am S. Parker. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about this thing that was trending last night, and it's still trending today. It's just not in the top 20, and I typically ignore the stuff that falls out of the top 20. It's classic TV songs. There is a tournament, and I am telling you, there are millions and millions of people who are engaging in this tournament here, and I thought we could have a little bit of fun with it, because look, nobody likes TV more than me. There is nothing that I'm truly good at. There isn't. There are things that I can do, right? Like shooting baskets. I can kind of shoot baskets, but nobody would ever go, that dude can shoot baskets. I can wail in a batting cage. That's something that I think I'm pretty good at. But the minute I get hit with any junk from an actual person, like a breaking ball or a curveball, that's when I suck. But if it's a machine putting the ball in the exact same place every time, I can crank those bitches. So there's nothing that I'm really good at except watching TV. I think that I might be top 10 in the world in watching TV. I couldn't imagine that anybody would have a better and deeper. Maybe there's a paraplegic out there who just, is ahead and just stares at a TV all the time. And he's also very smart in addition to not being able to do anything but watch TV. So he might be like number one, number two, but I am certainly top 10 in the world at watching TV. So this classic TV song tournament that was trending earlier, last night it was trending high. Today it's trending a little bit lower. This is right up in my wheelhouse. Can I read you we'll go through the bracket really quick like we would as if they were, and basically what it is they're trying to determine the greatest TV theme song of all time. Are you ready, boys?
I am.
Most definitely, yeah.
In the first matchup coming out of the East, a number 1 seed versus...
Hang on. We're doing brackets.
Yeah. But they're already...
We
What's
can't
that?
just rank them like top 10, like it's a Casey Kasem thing. We have to do March Madness on
No,
this.
this is why it's got millions of hits and millions of shares because people are, voting in the bracket rounds. So we've got a number 1 seed going up with a number 16 seed. The number 1 seed is the theme from Mary Tyler Moore versus the Brady Bunch. So it's "You're Gonna Make It After All" versus "Here's a Story." All right, which one wins? Because this first one has already been decided.
Who is the trash who seeded these? Because they've got that completely backwards. I don't even know the Mary Tyler Moore theme song, but I know the Brady theme song. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm aware it exists and you're going to make it after all. But if you ask me to sing it, I don't know the words. I don't know that song.
The Mary Tyler Moore theme was popular among the Gen X set, I gotta believe, because not only do they remember it as a TV show, but Evan Dando of the Lemonheads had a hit with it, a remake of it in the 1980s. So, E, what do you got? You got the Mary Tyler Moore
I'm
theme?
going with the Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch, and you're going with Brady Bunch. Well, I'll have you know that Mary Tyler Moore kicked the 16 seed Brady Bunch's ass in this one.
This is trash online voting where it's
No, it's not. It's about a better song. The Mary Tyler Moore theme is a better song.
It's a better song.
It
It's a story. Like I know that one. It's in my head.
Everybody knows that song.
All right. Well,
More
let's see.
people by a factor of 10 know the Brady Bunch song than the Mary Tyler Moore song.
All
It
right,
might be a factor of 100.
Folks, we've got a whole tournament here. We don't need to spend 5 minutes on each selection.
Well, this is already starting off really trashy, so I don't know if I want to waste precious
well,
showtime on this.
Well, it's a good thing that ultimately that's going to be my decision
And
today, what we do here. So,
and it's all really the trick in the ranking.
Let's see here. All right, so number 8 seed. This is also in the Eastern bracket.
How many seeds are there before?
16, 1 through 16. It's just like a tournament. It's exactly.
Oh, but you say East bracket. Like, are there other
East and West? Yeah, how they do. Well, it's not
64
broken down like.
teams?
There's just an East bracket. There's a bracket on the East side of my screen and a bracket on the West side.
So there's 32 teams. There's 32 themes total.
Yeah,
64, 32.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're just going to give the results here of the first round because the first round has already been completed. Mary Tyler Moore defeats the Brady Bunch 53.6% to 36.2%. Number 8 seed, Green Acres. Green Acres is the place to be.
All right.
Versus a number 9 seed, we are moving on up to the sky. Jeffersons versus Green Acres. Who won that matchup?
Jeffersons all day.
What do you say, James?
I say Jeffersons, but it's real close.
This was pretty close. Yeah, the Jeffersons won 54% to 45%. Jefferson moves on to face Mary Tyler Moore in the second round. That is yet to be determined. All right. Number 4. Boy, this is a number 4 seed.
Hooterville.
The Addams Family. Boom, 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 boom.
They already went. Whoever they're going against, they already went.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, really? Whoever they're going up? Flintstones. Addams Family versus Flintstones.
Oh, wow. This is like a blockbuster.
Yeah. But the Flintstones are a number 13 seed going up against a number 4 Addams Family seed. So who won? Addams Family or they're the modern Stone Age family?
Flintstones won. That wouldn't be my pick, but I bet the Flintstones win.
I think the Addams Family wins just because of the initial first few notes. You get it.
Yeah, here's another. Yeah, this was a very close one. The Flintstones pull this one out. The number 13 seed takes down a full 51 to 48%.
Wow.
All right, here we
go.
Lucky
I'm not betting on these.
This should be an easy one. Okay. The Greatest American Hero. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought it would be so free. Taking on.
And what's the rank?
Greatest American Hero is a number 5 rank. Now, here's the thing. That was a hit popular song on the radio. So, it's got
inertia.
Yeah, it's got cred, right? So it's a number 5 because it was also a pop hit on the radio. But holy shit, is it taking on a 12 seed that could be the ultimate winner here. And the 12 seed is Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade.
All in the Family.
Boys like us, we had it made. Versus Believe It or Not, I'm walking on air. Who took the crown? Who won this matchup? A 12 versus a 5.
I think right here it's important. What is the group that's voting? Because if they're older,
It's everybody. It's everybody. Now,
no,
in
but I mean, like,
general-
what's the median age
right.
of the group that's voting? If it tends to be a little bit older,
Mhm.
I would say All in the Family wins.
In theory, this is open to anybody who wants to vote, but in practice, 70-year-olds do not participate in these things online. So, so who won? A number 5 seed in Greatest American Hero or All in the Family?
Man,
I'm gonna go just by playing the odds exposure. I would say Greatest American Hero.
James, who won?
I hope Greatest American Hero won because just objectively speaking, it's a much better song. But
Believe it or not.
All in the Family kind of has sort of that hipster retro stink to it that people like it as some sort of, I'm culturally aware or sensitive or whatever the hell is attached to that. So I think maybe
Right.
All in the Family won, but I definitely like Greatest American Hero better.
Well, the winner in this one was Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
That is trash. That is not a better song. They just like that show better.
All in the Family, a number 12 seed, unseats a number 5 seed, which sets up a second round matchup between two underdogs, two top-ranked killers. Flintstones versus All in the Family. That's coming up. Sit tight, kids. Let's move over to the other bracket. Let's look over on the Eastern Division. We'll go with the first matchup, a number 2 versus a number 15. And boy, oh boy, is this another good one. There are a lot of good matchups here. I mean, there are good songs that could be in the Final Four that are just getting eliminated in the first round, just like the real tournament, just like the real NCAA tournament. All right, a number 2 ranked song. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Boom,
You do not
boom,
have
boom.
to sing these, man. You can just tell me what they are.
He
No,
likes it.
no,
That's
no,
the
I'm
whole
gonna
reason he's
sing 'em.
doing it.
I'm gonna sing them, you son of a bitch, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna listen. All right, so we got a number 2 seed in the theme from Cheers going up against Here We Come. Walking down the street, get the funniest looks from everyone we meet.
Hey.
Hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around. We're too busy playing to put anybody down. We're just trying to get famous. Okay, Monkeys versus Cheers. That's a matchup. Right? That's a good matchup. That's a 2 versus a 15. The 15 is Monkeys, Here We Come.
Cheers, but it's close.
I'm gonna go Monkeys.
Cheers. Cheers advances. Number 2 isn't going to waste its time with Here We Come, the Monkeys. But the Monkeys theme could have been a Final Four, man. That is a great theme song. That song, everybody knows that. That song was a hit song.
I think it takes too long though to get to the hook. Hey, we're the monkey. Like,
all right,
takes a while to get there.
Woo! Now we get into one where I don't even know the second one, but okay. So this
Let's
is
hear it.
a number 7 seed taking on a number 10 seed. The number 7 scene is a ship set sail for that day of an enchanted isle with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Marianne here on Gilligan's Isle. Number 7, Gilligan's Island taking on Golden Girls theme. I don't even know what the Golden Girls theme is.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again.
Let me tell you
I
something.
knew you're a friend and a confidant.
See, now you know that because you're at the age just younger than me that when Golden Girls was on, you were probably forced to watch that garbage with your grandparents, right? I mean,
And if you threw a party,
I've never seen it.
invited everyone you knew.
I've never seen an episode of the Golden Girls, and it sucks because culturally speaking, it has weathered the test of time. The gays have really embraced in 2021 the whole Golden Girls vibe. There's all kinds of Golden Girls references and memes, and I never watched it because when that show came out, I was like in my 20s and late teens. I was gonna watch a bunch of old ladies. That wasn't anything that I was ever gonna watch. I bet you've never seen an episode of the Golden Girls either. What?
I have.
Oh Jesus, really?
Yeah, not on purpose, but I have because they would play it reruns.
James, and the only way that you've seen it is because you had an older person babysitting you who controlled the TV.
No,
way you sought that out.
The grandma was cool. Like
it
the older
stands
grandma.
on its own.
They were all grandmas.
No, but there was a one older white-haired lady that was kind of like funny. Like she reminded me of
Estelle
like
Getty.
an older. Yeah, exactly.
And you want to know a fun fact? Estelle Getty, who played B. Arthur's mom, right? The really old lady. It was all about old ladies.
Right.
But the really old lady, Estelle Getty, was in fact the youngest Golden Girl. She was younger than all the other Golden Girls.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think if you sat down and watched it, you would actually like it because it's very formulaic. It's a formula sitcom. The characters are just these archetypes that you find in other shows. The character that Betty White plays is like Woody from Cheers or Coach from Cheers or Dauber from Coach, or what was the guy in Wings? You know, just the affable dunce.
The dumb guy, the Suzanne Summers, the Chrissy Summers.
Right. Yeah. And then you had B. Arthur, kind of the straight one that was sort of like
Chrissy
the Jason
Snow.
Bateman that was trying to keep it all together, and all this weird stuff was happening around her, and she was trying to hold it together. The mom, her mom, was this super duper old lady that was just there for punchlines, just there for zingers. She would
no way I'm going to stand for this anymore. We're done talking about Golden Girls.
Oh, hang on.
I don't care.
And then Blanche Devereaux was her archetype was she was a whore. Like that was her bit. That was her entire. They were very one-dimensional characters.
Okay.
But Blanche's thing is she was just sleeping around every episode.
Yeah, very much like the one the girls show that came back with. What the heck is
we ain't doing this. All right, guess who won?
Right.
Gilligan's Island or the Golden Girls theme?
Well, I have a problem with the Gilligan's Island song personally.
What's that?
And the whole the 3-hour tour line, you can't be lost forever if you just got 3 hours away. So I'm just by flawed.
The storm.
You could have swam home by then, right?
Right. Like that. So I just can't vote for that song because it's flawed. The whole series is flawed because of that damn song.
Yeah. Well, my problem with it is, and that's a very good one, but my problem has always been with the people assembled on that boat. Why the hell were a couple of millionaires sharing a 3-hour charter boat with a bunch of poor people, a bunch of people who had no right to be hanging out with the Howells? What was now the movie star in the Howells? I get that, right? You know, the Howells rent the boat, and they say, "Oh, would you mind if we added someone to the crew? It's film star Ginger Grant," and they'd be like, "Whoa, of course, Ginger Grant can come." But explain to me the professor. Explain to me Marianne. You know, what was she doing there? What? The rich people rent boats privately. They don't take a whole bunch of like idiots with them. And that's basically what happened. And also, the SS Minnow. No rich people is going to rent that boat. That boat,
Minnow, like that's the wrong name for a rich person's boat.
That boat sucked. That boat was not. The Howells did not belong on that boat.
All right, so I guess you're against the whole thing too. So I'm going to go Golden Girls.
I am. Golden Girls. Who won that matchup? Golden Girls or Gilligan's Island?
Gilligan's Island, but I think Golden Girls should have won. It's a better song.
Gilligan's Island won in a rout. Gilligan's Island won 68-31. That's the biggest rout so far in the tournament.
And Kay brings up a good point. Why did they pack all that stuff if they were just going for 3 hours?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Lovey Smith, Lovey Howell had everything that she could ever need for the rest of her life in those crates that she took. Oh. All right, so here we go. Here's another one. We got a number 3 seed taking on a number 14 seed. The number 3 seed is Come listen to a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer, barely kept the family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground came a bubbling crew. Beverly Hillbillies.
Do you have these lyrics in front of you?
No, I just know
Really?
them all. I just know 'em.
Wow.
Dude, nobody. I'm top 10 in the world at watching TV, and this is a demonstration of that. I'm just not saying it. I own it. Beverly Hillbillies taking on 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock rock, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock rock. We're going to rock around the clock tonight. We're going to gung, gung, gung. Happy Days. Who wins, the Beverly Hillbillies or Happy Days in a battle for the classic TV song tournament?
If you're going for me, Beverly Hillbillies.
E?
Happy Days.
I would have definitely gone Happy Days, but unfortunately, the number 3 seed takes down the number 14 seed, Happy Days, 52% to 47%.
Beverly Hillbillies won. Wow.
Beverly Hill, yeah, which, I mean, these are both oldster shows. One is a generation older than the other. Beverly Hillbillies is a gen older than Happy
Right.
Days, but they're both appeal to old people. So, I
That's
guess
kind of the trend that's happening, though, with all the winners in the brackets.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready for this one?
The trend is what show's more popular, not what song's better.
No, but the voting, the people that are voting appear to me like they're older.
That's absolutely not true, James. That is absolutely. Happy Days was exponentially more popular than the Beverly Hillbillies. The Beverly Hillbillies ran for 3 seasons. Happy Days ran for over a decade.
Right.
It was number one. Beverly Hillbillies was never a number 1 show on TV.
Okay, but for younger people, they saw Beverly Hillbillies in syndication and on Nick at Night way more than they saw Happy Days.
Well, Nick at Night is a real factor, absolutely, for a certain generation.
So
yeah,
I don't know, but like 4 or 5 Happy Days episodes, but I know 14 Beverly Hillbillies. I saw far more of the Beverly Hillbillies.
All right, now here we go. This is this is a rough one for me because these are two damn good songs. Okay, a number 6 seed in WKRP in Cincinnati, which everybody in radio knows that one. Wait, how does that song actually go?
Baby, if you've ever wondered
whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP.
Got kind of tired of packing and unpacking.
Town to town, up and down
the dial.
Okay, stop. We got to get to the other one.
That's enough.
The other one, which is a good one. This is a cruel seating, man. This is one where it's like somebody's got to lose. Really? All right. Bump, 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 bump. Welcome back. Your dreams all but trickled out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the rules have all changed since you hung around. Welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back, Cotter, taking on WKRP in Cincinnati. 2 songs that are actually jams that I can actually, get behind. Who won that? A number 6 seed in WKRP in Cincinnati taking on a number 11 seed in Welcome Back, Cotter.
Give me WKRP.
And I'm going to go because of the previous winners with Welcome Back, Cotter.
You, dude, should not be betting on this. You are losing every single matchup. WKRP in Cincinnati slays John Sebastian's hit song, Welcome Back, Cotter, 47 or 51% to 48%. Okay, it's actually just been updated in real time, so we now have the quick second rounders. So let's move back. Mary Tyler Moore taking on the Jeffersons. Those are 2 that came out of the first round. Now we've got Mary Tyler Moore taking on, moving on up, moving on up.
Give me Jeffersons.
E?
I'm going to go with the Jeffersons.
Mary Tyler Moore at 53.6% moves on.
Look at him sandbagging me over here.
To the final 4. So Mary Tyler Moore is in the final 4.
I'm the jinx.
You are, yeah. All right, now in the second round, we got a 13 seed taking on a 12 seed. We've got Flintstones, Meet the Flintstones, taking on Boyd Away. Glenn Miller played a 13 versus a 12 matchup. All in the Family taking on Flintstones for classic TV song.
Flintstones.
E?
I'm going with All in the Family.
Flintstones, Meet the Flintstones. There, you have lost every single pick. You are just getting smoked. All right, here we go. Now let's move over. Second round to the other side. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Taking on a 3-hour tour. A ship set sail for a minute, the uncharted desert isle. Cheers versus Gilligan's Island theme. E, you got the hot hand.
I'm going with Cheers.
What are you going with, James?
Cheers.
Cheers wins. Cheers moves on to the final
God.
four. That's
and
right.
I wouldn't have won that. I just don't like the Gilligan song.
So now we've got
Nice.
two of the final four are met. We've got coming out of the West, we've got Mary Tyler Moore, and coming out of the East, Cheers. Now let's move back down the bracket. Beverly Hillbillies, right? Yeah, bubbling crude, taking on I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Beverly Hillbillies versus WKRP in Cincinnati to move on to the final four. Who wins it?
I'm going with Jethro.
Come listen to a story about a man named Jed. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
I want WKRP to win. I want WKRP.
You going with WKRP?
That's what I want to win. I think Beverly Hillbillies is probably more popular, but I want WRK.
You know, they say that the rule of gambling is to know when to step away from the table and know when to stay. It looks like Big E knows when to stay because he's now got two in the final four. Beverly Hillbillies moves on to the final four of the Classic Song Tournament. All right.
I'd have been broke before I got to the final four, though.
So far, the final four is Mary Tyler Moore, Cheers, the Beverly Hillbillies, and this is the final one that's going to make it into the final four. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
No, this would be the quarterfinals.
Yeah, quarterfinals.
Right.
Oh, wait, did we already do Flintstones versus All in the Family?
Yeah.
Oh, then we've got the final four.
Flintstones won.
So the final four is set. In the Western Division, we've got Mary Tyler Moore taking on the Flintstones. And in the Eastern Division, we've got Cheers taking on the Beverly Hillbillies. Okay, so the matchup, I guess, and we don't have an answer for this one, but who do we think is going to win, Mary Tyler Moore or the Flintstones in their final four matchup? Who moves on to the championship game, Mary Tyler Moore or the Flintstones?
Can't we play this game tomorrow?
Yeah, we can.
No, let's close it out. It's only 3 matchups.
Well, we got to wait and see how it turns out. This is where the voting is already stopped. So we don't have definitive answers now. We don't. So, but the matchups for the final four are Mary Tyler Moore versus Flintstones. Who you like in that matchup? We won't have an answer for this one.
Sorry to leave you hanging, folks.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I think it's good, though. It's an evolving game, like
So
our
which
show.
So which is better, Mary Tyler Moore or the Flintstones? Which one's going to win in their final four matchup?
Flintstones.
Flintstones?
I don't think a cartoon ultimately wins.
You going Mary Tyler Moore?
Mary Tyler Moore.
I'm going to go Mary Tyler Moore too. Here's why. It is a better song. It's actually an okay song. And if you've ever heard the Lemonheads version of it, it's like it's a good song. It's like, oh, I never realized that that's actually kind of a nice song. And I also think that, women in Mary Tyler Moore and what she represents, I think that there's going to be a push for that.
Yeah.
She was the woman who broke the glass ceiling on No, that was Lucy, but okay. You believe that it's Mary Tyler Moore. So I agree. I think Mary Tyler Moore is going to win. Mary Tyler Moore will go into the championship. And who will Mary Tyler Moore face? Cheers or the Beverly Hillbillies?
Cheers.
E?
I'm going with the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Mary Tyler Moore against the Beverly Hillbillies, and I think in that matchup it's going to end up with, simply because the Beverly Hillbillies are a black and white series, I think it's going to go Mary Tyler Moore. Stay tuned, folks. We'll find out. That has been our coverage of the 2021 Classic TV Theme Song Tournament. Okay. All right, let's see what else is trending today. There's a lot of stuff trending today, but I'm glad we got to spend a little bit of time on that. Okay. I'm looking here right now. The AAC. We don't care, but that's not the ACC, is it? The AAC, the American Atlantic Conference. The only reason I would mention
the AAC is American Airlines Center.
Well, yes, but in football conference, it's trending as a football as a sports conference. The American Athletic Conference, the AAC, is trending today. It's because they've added a bunch of teams. All the conferences are realigning, and the only reason I'm mentioning it here is because North Texas is now going to be in the American Athletic Conference. The American Athletic Conference has added UAB, I guess that's University of Alabama, Birmingham, I'm guessing.
Correct.
Yep.
UTSA, which University of Texas, San Antonio. Is that what we're going to say?
Yep.
FAU, Florida Atlantic.
Yep.
Okay. Rice,
Nice.
North Texas, and the Charlotte Bobcats for some reason. No, Charlotte is in here. I don't know what college that is, so I just went with the NBA team. But they will be playing in the AAC. That's yeah. Okay, so here's something I wanted to mention this just because it's kind of. It doesn't have to. We don't have to make this politically divisive, but it's kind of funny.
But here it comes.
Here it comes. Trump is launching his own media company and his own social network, which I already thought there was a whole bunch of those already out there for those people. I thought, you got Parler most famously, but then there's a whole bunch of other ones. And of course, his social media platform is going to be called Truth. And so Truth Social is trending, but also trending with it. And right behind it is Wuhan trending with Truth Social because as it's been pointed out, the money that Trump is taking to launch this new media company called Truth Social comes from CEO of Digital World Acquisition Group. And they are based in Wuhan, China. So he's taking money from people in Wuhan to put up a social media network called Truth. Do with that information what you want.
So is it going to be like Facebook or Twitter or?
Yeah, I guess, because truth isn't allowed, you know the argument. People, the chairman CEO of Digital World Acquisition Group that is merging with and profiting money from Trump's new media company is also the CEO of Yonghong International, a Cayman Islands incorporated blank check company with headquarters in Wuhan, China. I don't know what a blank, James, you're the financial guy, you're the rich guy. What is a blank check company? Is that just a company that invests in other companies? Just they give blank checks to run? That's what I would think.
Yeah, it's a silent partner type of arrangement.
All right, so the silent partner.
And I'm going to pull myself out of the rich guy ranks.
Yeah, you're not this level of rich guy. You're just a rich guy at the level that doesn't have to worry about the price of beer at a college football game. That's where you are. That's a nice place to be.
It's a little.
But it's certainly not, have friends with holding companies in the Caymans who are chairmen of Wuhan-based blank check corp. I don't know what any of that means, but it just seems so funny. Just whatever. All right. Speaking of China, Enes Kanter, Boston Celtics player. We all know Enes Kanter if we like the NBA. Enes Kanter is trending today because his support on digital platforms for the Tibetan independence movement has caused the Chinese government to ban all Boston Celtics everything from China. The Boston Celtics no longer, as of this morning, exist in China because Enes Kanter tweeted something in support of Tibetan independence. So there you go.
I love the authoritarian desire to try and erase people from history because most of them try and do it. And in 1984 they called it an unperson, and you see
Soviet Russia under Stalin, they were called non-people. There were people who never. Trotsky is a great example of that. People who never
erased them from photos.
Yeah,
yeah, that's funny stuff. I love that.
And we're kind of blowing over that, but if you think about it, how can the NBA allow that?
Allow what?
China to just like say, no, the Boston Celtics don't exist. I mean, your league.
Oh, I see what you're saying. How? Because money comes first with everybody. And they don't want to, they like their presence. The NBA loves their presence in China. It's a couple of billion people. Whatever.
They broadcast games, I'm assuming.
Yeah, not any Celtics games anymore, though.
How? You can't do that.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, China can, but I'm saying as the NBA, you can't let China do that and then still take your product.
No, stop.
But they're going to. They are totally going to. They're going to allow this to be a thing because China has a lot of people and they apparently love basketball.
Yes, and the NBA is not about promoting basketball. It's about promoting Nike or Adidas or Reebok, sneakers and clothes and shorts and all that. So when you look at China, 1.5 billion people almost. That is 3 billion feet that need shoes on them. That's how they do it. Okay. There's 3 billion feet in China.
3 billion branded feet. that
So,
need
like, if you
cover-
wear a Celtics jersey, are you then going to get put in one of these gulags?
No, they'll
probably,
just point the camera away from you. But Eve,
yeah, we'll never see that happen.
Yeah.
But, you know,
but look, wouldn't you like forego the entirety of the Boston Celtics for the rest of your life if it made you like $1 billion? I would.
isn't it funny though that just the previous thing that was trending was Trump getting money from a company that is based and thrives within that system, and they're calling it Truth, Truth Social.
Truth.
I mean, there's so much craziness here.
My God, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
But look, man, Trump is, a lot of people malign his business skills. This dude doesn't go into his own pocket for anything. He knows that his name is what it's worth.
I mean, Truth.
You know what I mean?
They're
he's
still
smart in that
maintaining
regard.
the election was stolen.
Oh, yeah, we don't need to go into that. Okay. So the Boston Celtic, that is one of those.
I had to go into that with my mother-in-law.
Let's talk about that, guys. Yeah,
No, let's not talk about that. Enos Cantor, that's who we're talking about. He's, whatever.
good old Enos.
He supports Tibetan independence and freedom, and so now the Boston Celtics do not exist in China. Here, this is something that I think is so. Oh my God, KC 2026 has been trending all morning. KC 2026. Yeah, you shouldn't really know what this is, but apparently the World Cup Selection Committee is doing their travels to find who is going to be the host city for the 2026 World Cup. And today they're in Kansas City. Kansas City is one of 17 finalists, cities around the globe. There's a number of American cities. Let's just focus on the American cities who are finalists for it. Now, this is a huge deal, man. I remember, I don't know if it was 92, 94, somewhere like that when the
94.
World Cup, what was it?
94.
94, the World Cup when it came to Chicago.
Mhm.
And I went to a game at Soldier Field, and we were at a golf outing. I was on the radio then, and we used to do our golf outing, and our golf outing was held at a golf course resort where the German national team was staying.
Right.
And while the golf course, while the golf outing was going on, all the German national players were practicing on the greens, and it was so cool. And then I ended up going to a game at Soldier Field. It was a big deal, man. I remember it was a huge thing for Chicago, and it was.
This is already like starting off on the wrong foot.
Why? Kansas City is getting a visit from the selection committee right now.
Yeah, but like, all right, like I'm from another country. Do I go to Kansas City, Kansas, or do I go to Kansas City, Missouri?
Yeah, right? They need to figure out where that city is, first of all.
Right.
Because most people think it's in the state of Kansas, when truthfully, the only parts of the city you want to go to are on the Missouri side. That's the Kansas City, Missouri. The Royals play in Kansas City. The Royals are a Missouri team.
Like you just see a bunch of people getting sold like a bill of goods. Like, oh yeah, we're in Kansas City.
You know what else?
Like we got a hotel that's really close by. Airbnb is just going to rip people off. Like this is going to be a bad idea.
So Kansas City is trending today because the city themselves have put a lot of weight into their social branding for this event. So the city itself has KC 2026 trending. Everybody who's ever lived in Kansas City has been encouraged to hashtag that. So it was trending all morning long. I think it might still be trending now, although I haven't checked in the last hour. But let's be honest about Kansas City, okay? Let's not talk about the other world cities that are in the running. But the committee is in America for the next couple of weeks, and they're going to be visiting a bunch of American cities. Now, let's compare Kansas City to the competition, shall we? All right. KC is one of 17 finalists for the World Cup. At today's selection committee in Kansas City, FIFA will complete its site visits, FIFA will complete its site visits to the remaining U.S. final cities in the next couple of weeks. So here is who Kansas City is in competition with. Now, remember, you are a part of the World Cup selection committee, and you're coming to America, and you're looking to be wined and dined, and you're looking to have fun. Kansas City is up today. Guess where they go right after Kansas City? Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Kansas City.
There's Arrowhead Stadium, And
Good
here's
luck.
the SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, right. No, I'm so sorry, people in Kansas City, but you shouldn't have a World Cup because honestly, the rest of America doesn't want people in Prague thinking that that's what America looks like. That is not representative of the coolness of America and why we deserve a World Cup.
And you're
No,
Kansas City.
Watch, just one of the guys on the selection committee isn't going to like barbecue, and then it's over. That's all they got, right? They're not going to know who Patrick Mahomes is. What are they going to bring out Patrick Mahomes?
And it's still a problem because it's Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City,
okay, well,
Kansas.
Stuck on that, aren't you?
I'm sure. Yeah, you're stuck.
They can Google Maps it, dude. They'll figure it out.
All right, so here are the cities they're going to visit. All right, Kansas City is up first. Then they go to Los Angeles. Then they go to San Francisco. I mean, it's after the first 3 visits, Kansas City is going to be eliminated. After the first 3, it's going to be an argument between San Francisco and Los
Well,
Angeles.
if there's any Asian guys on the committee, they're definitely voting for San Fran or Los Angeles before they're voting for Kansas.
That'll be one of the arguments that we need to really, play to our Asian and South Pacific World Cup audience. San Francisco certainly checks that box. All right. So they go Kansas City, then to Los Angeles, then to San Francisco, then up to Seattle. Again, seriously, Kansas City is the opening act. After you see a great concert, you never talk about the opening act. You don't, right? I mean,
well, they're just missing a bunch of water.
I feel so bad for them because they're really excited. And I was reading the threads and like, we've got this, Kansas City. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you
don't.
That'd be like Buffalo.
Just one of these guys.
Ain't that bad.
Just one of these guys on the selection committee wants a prostitute, and Los Angeles is going to win. You know what I mean? They're going to set these guys up with stone cold 10s that are going to come visit their hotel room because let's not kid ourselves. This is one of the most corrupt organizations. We're talking about FIFA.
Well, what we've learned about FIFA is it really doesn't matter that much the city, though. I mean, what you're saying, if we're ranking the cities like we were ranking the theme songs, you're right. But where's the next World Cup? It's going to be in Dubai. Is that because Dubai has a good bar scene or a good scene with hookers? No, it's because
rich guys it does. For rich white guys, it does. Yeah.
No, it's because they paid the people who make the decisions the most amount of kickbacks. That's really what it comes down to. So if there is some storied moneyed interest that wants Kansas City to get it, I wouldn't be that shocked if FIFA did pick them. And because they do punchline stuff like that to themselves all the time.
Doesn't it seem funny, though, like they're doing Kansas City first just to get it out of the way before they hit Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle? Like, let's not be completely tore up because they're going to be tore up after Los Angeles, San Francisco. They're not going to want to be in Kansas City. They're getting that one out of the way. That's like the local opening act when you go see a band that's got a really great bill, and then they got one local guy that's playing while people are still parking. That's what
it's not an all or nothing thing. The Olympics go to a city, they go to Rio or they go to Seoul, South Korea. The World Cup goes to a country. So we're just talking about one game and it's the finals.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's what they're shopping right now. It's just one game. They might get it.
So here's the first leg: Kansas City, Los Angeles, then to San Francisco, then to Seattle. Then they come back down and they go to Denver. Denver's scenic. It could be very interesting. It's certainly, wouldn't be my choice. The legal weed. That
James
might have
just said
somebody.
Something. It's only one game? I thought they'd have a playoff bracket stuff.
No. The game that they're shopping is one game. It's not like this is going to host the entire World Cup. This one's just going to host the finals. In fact, the one they're looking at, this World Cup is going to be split between us, Mexico, and Canada.
They are not.
So you just fly into this like random place for one game.
Yeah.
Yes. It's all
I can't imagine Kansas City. I can't imagine Kansas City packing Arrowhead Stadium with 120,000 rabid soccer fans. I can see that in Los Angeles. I can see that in more international cities. But
don't you think people are going to come from all over the world then?
Some will. Some,
I
but
mean,
they're
isn't
going
that
to
why
rely on.
Kansas City wants it? Because
Well,
they
then
don't
how-
want to repack
right,
it with
they'll-
their own people.
There will be thousands that do that, but to fill out the stadium, you're going to need rabid local interest in
No,
soccer.
Pugs, I want to remind you, the World Cup next year is going to be in Qatar, or whatever that little
Yeah, and they'll
emirate is.
draw 100,000 people in white sheets.
Well,
That's,
if they can do it, then Kansas City can do it.
I don't know. No, because they play that over there in that part of the world. They love that sport.
Qatar,
They
they don't even have grass. It's a desert.
Oh, shut up. You know what I'm saying? In the Middle East, they love their
Well,
soccer.
it probably
They love it.
matters
They
a
love it
bit
in
as to
Kansas
who
City.
gets in too.
What's that?
It probably matters as to who are the two teams that are playing.
Yeah.
I mean, if some
All right.
teams,
No, it's like the Super
We're getting
Bowl.
bogged down because we've got more
Fans
cities
don't
in
go.
this competition. We've got more American cities in this competition, and one is of particular interest to us here on this show. So it's Kansas City, then they go to Los Angeles, then they go to San Francisco, then they go to Seattle, then they go to Denver, and then
Dallas.
Houston.
Oh, that's cool.
Houston. Oh boy. And after Houston, they go to Dallas. Now we got the advantage here because you want to be the second one, right? Like if you're going to compete against Houston, you want to go second, right? That's like deferring the kickoff. That's like winning the toss.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah, so it's like it gives you an advantage because you can have spies down there. You can find out what they were into in Houston, and then you can do it better here in Dallas. And quite frankly, anything that Houston can do, I believe Dallas can do better. Dallas can do it better. It can do it bigger. They can do it more shiny. Houston is like a Texas City with just enough Cleveland mixed in. That's the problem with Houston. Whereas Dallas is like this magical, wealthy, gleaning, clean to the outside world, Texas City. But Houston's got a little too much Cleveland in it.
Houston's got a huge advantage because they're a port city and they have international shipping, and that's where all the oil pipelines necessarily have to stop, to fill up the tankers or to unload the tankers and put it back into our system. So that's one advantage Houston has just as a city, but as hosting a major sporting event, Dallas probably. You think Dallas would get the nod over Houston in something like this?
And they round out their trip after. So here's the trip: Kansas City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, Houston, Dallas, and then they run it out, with a little trip up to Cincinnati. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
When is this game held?
I don't know. 2026. 2026.
In like July or August.
In July. So it's summer. Okay. So in Kansas, I was going to say Kansas City doesn't have a dome. So it would have to be, you would think, in some time where it's warmer. So July makes it work.
Yeah.
I was thinking they would at least shop like one non-American city like Toronto or Mexico City or something.
No, they are. There are 17 finalists. I just gave you the American ones. I gave you the American bracket. Yeah, Mexico City, Juarez. They're gonna go to Juarez. I don't know. Toronto, Montreal, all those places are probably in the running as well. All right, so that's why KC 2026 is trending, and it's such a heartbreaking trend because these people are so excited, and there's no way that city's going to be able to compete with these other cities. Although James says, graft is king, and we will see. FIFA is widely known to be crazy corrupt.
Few institutions are as corrupt as FIFA.
Trending right here now. I don't know why she's trending. But she is trending, and I didn't really. Carrie Fisher is trending today. Carrie Fisher, ladies and gentlemen. Carrie Fisher. Oh, because it's her birthday. I think that's why. So, do we remember Carrie Fisher? Of course, Princess Leia, who was almost the Jamie Lee Curtis role in the Halloween movie, except she said she was going to do it. The producer, the director, John Carpenter, wanted Carrie Fisher to do it because of her parents, Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. They wanted the daughter of a very famous Hollywood, bring a little heat to the movie, the unknown daughter. And Carrie Fisher at the last minute bogged out because there was another little movie called Star Wars that she took instead.
Good call. Solid call.
But then, this is the fun story about Halloween. But
wait,
then,
how old was Halloween?
1970. I think 77. It was released, so 78, something like that, or I don't know. They were doing the pre-production for it, whatever. I don't know. But they had been interviewing another girl named Jamie Lee Curtis for the role, but they didn't really want her. They wanted Carrie Fisher. And they wanted Carrie Fisher because she had famous parents. And I told the story on the air a couple of days ago. They were unaware that Jamie Lee Curtis was the child of Janet Lee? Yeah, Janet Lee and Tony Curtis. They didn't know. So they passed on her going, no, we want a daughter of a famous person. Get me Debbie Reynolds' kid. Let's get her in there. And then somebody whispered to the person after Carrie Fisher bogged out. They said, you do know that Jamie Lee Curtis girl that you didn't like? Yeah, you know that she's Tony Curtis's daughter, right? And he went, all right, she's it. So that's how she got her career. But Carrie Fisher was originally the one they wanted to play that role. So it's Carrie Fisher's birthday. She'd be 65 years old today. She died 5 years ago already. Of course, Carrie Fisher, we all know her as Princess Leia. I know her as just like one of the coolest, funniest old school broads from 70s. But this was a woman who, if you've ever seen her HBO special, Wishful Drinking, either of you guys ever seen this?
Have not.
Nope.
It is Carrie Fisher on stage for 2 hours talking about the stories from her best-selling book, Wishful Drinking, which is all of these crazy wheels off Hollywood party stories. And she names names and she talks about everything. It's just her walking the stage like a stand-up comedian talking about, and then Belushi broke my toilet. You know, it's just like these really great stories. So I've been a fan of that broad because of that. She didn't hold anything back, tells her whole confident. I mean, just a totally confident woman. I just loved Carrie Fisher. Well, she died 5 years ago. She died on December 27th, 2016. Do you remember how she died?
Fentanyl?
Fentanyl is just like the.
I don't know.
I'm cold. I'm sorry.
It's such an interesting story because I remember it at the time. I remember going, oh my God, that is crazy. She was on an airplane. She was flying back. They were making a new Star Wars movie, and they make all the Star Wars movies in England. And she did some stuff for Star Wars, and she was on her way back, and she had a heart attack. She stopped breathing on the airplane 15 minutes before landing in Los Angeles. So she made the entire transatlantic flight fine with no problems. And in just 15 minutes, here, I'll read you the story. After finishing, she was doing a book tour and working on Star Wars. After finishing the European book leg of her tour, her last TV appearance was on an episode of 8 out of 10 Cats. Have you ever watched? Do you know what that is?
Never even heard of it till right now.
It's a wildly popular British weekly TV show, 8 out of 10 Cats. And it's really funny. It's a panel show with comedians. And 8 out of 10 Cats mean they talk about poll questions. And so it's just a silly name. And they always have a celebrity on and all that. Go to YouTube and just watch a couple of clips out of 8 out of 10 Cats. It's a really funny show.
We do that. We respond to poll results.
Yeah, we do. We don't do it as funny as these guys do because and it's all big name stand-up comedians, like famous comics that you all, not just English ones either, although there are a lot of English ones. After finishing the European leg of her book tour, her last television appearance was on an episode of 8 out of 10 Cats. Fisher was on a commercial flight on December 23rd, 2016 from London to Los Angeles. Merry Christmas. She was coming home for Christmas. From London to Los Angeles when she suffered a medical emergency around 15 minutes before the aircraft landed. A passenger seated next to Fisher reported that she had stopped breathing. Another passenger performed CPR on Fisher until paramedics arrived at the scene. Emergency services in Los Angeles were contacted when the flight crew reported that a passenger was unresponsive prior to landing. Fisher was taken by ambulance to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, where she was placed on a ventilator. On the morning of December 27, 2016, after being in intensive care for 4 days, Fisher died at the age of 60 at the UCLA Medical Center. Fisher's daughter, actress Billie Lourd, confirmed her mother's death in a statement to the press. Many of her co-stars and directors from Star Wars and other works also shared their thoughts on her death. Okay, so that's how she died, right? No, that's when she died, how she died. On January 9th, 2017, the Los Angeles County Coroner issued a death certificate that stated cardiac arrest / deferred. I don't know what that means. as the cause of death. More tests were expected. In a June 16th, 2017 news release. See, this again, we have these unreasonable expectations about how long it takes for us to find out. She died in early January, and then it took until June for them to give us the toxicology and, what was going on with her. So in June of 2017 news release, the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office said that the exact cause of death could not be determined, but sleep apnea and buildup of another fatty tissue, just like Tawny Katane, we talked about her earlier, and a buildup of fatty tissue on the walls of arteries were among the contributing factors.
Yeah, I call BS on that one.
What's that?
I call BS on that one.
Well, it's not done. A full report from June 2019, 2017 stated that Fisher had, are you ready? Cocaine in her system, which means cocaine only stays in your system 24 hours. So she had recently
done 72.
72. Okay, so she had recently done cocaine. So her big thing was that she was sober and that she had kicked the drug addiction and all that kind of stuff. No, she didn't. She had done cocaine in the days prior to her dying. All right, so she had cocaine in her system. Where is it? Fisher had cocaine in her system, as well as traces of heroin, opioids, and MDMA. 60-year-old Carrie Fisher had herself a weekend.
Oh, what was all that sleep apnea stuff y'all told us 3 days ago? Huh?
Right?
The fatty tissue on the walls of her arteries, guys. What was all that crap 3 days ago?
Well, look, I believe that is finally what did it in the 60-year-old. But the contributing factors was that this broad partied like it was 1976 at Studio 54 in the days before she died on a cross. Oh, what a
good for her.
Good for, gosh darn right, good for her. That is exactly how Carrie Fisher wanted to go out.
What do you want her to do? Go in like a long-term care facility funded only by Medicaid while she's 92 and half the minute doesn't know where she's at and pees herself?
No, man.
No.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher was a broad and she went out on brand. That is exactly.
Oh, but
she
had a rough come down on the red eye or the opposite of the red eye.
There's some people out there that are like, man, we just saw her at that rave.
Right, she was DJing topless.
That's what you get for doing my whole bag.
Like, I mean, have you ever been on MDMA when you're not at a rave or not at a club?
No, yeah, club. Always at a club.
Yeah.
Never. Well, sometimes after the club, when you go home with somebody, you might want to. I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about, y'all. Drugs are illegal.
Yeah, of course. Her daughter, Billie Lord, stated that Fisher battled drug addiction and mental illness her entire life. She ultimately died of it. She was purposely open in all of her work about the social stigma surrounding her diseases. I know my mom. She wanted her death to encourage people to be open about their struggles. Now, this is the truly freaky aspect of this, right? She died on the 27th. Okay? Carrie Fisher died on the 27th. On the 28th, while planning her funeral, her mother, Debbie Reynolds, suffered a stroke and died. And Debbie Reynolds' last words to her son, Carrie Fisher's brother, while they were planning Carrie's funeral was, I really just want to go be with Carrie. And then she had a stroke. Now, it's interesting because I don't know how familiar you guys are with this, but Carrie Fisher and her mother, Debbie Reynolds, were extraordinarily close. They had this very volatile relationship where they openly fought in the press. I mean, they loved each other and they were always together, but they talked smack on each other. They were they did interviews together where they were just like bickering back and forth. It was a mother-daughter relationship where, there was absolutely no governor on either one of them. You know what I mean? The way you've probably seen mothers and daughters act in your own family around Thanksgiving, they go back and forth and they're bitter and they get mad at each other, but they ultimately love each other unconditionally through it all. And that's why they're able to be so cruel to one another, because they know that it's not going to mean anything. Like, I can say whatever I want to you because you're still going to love me in 5 minutes because, it's unconditional love that we have for each other. Isn't that crazy? Her a superstar icon of movies, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia of the Star Wars franchise, dies, and one day later, her superstar iconic mother from the 50s and 60s, Debbie Reynolds, then died. How crazy is that? And for the last words to be, I just want to go be with Carrie.
It is crazy. So do they have a joint funeral?
Yeah, on December 28, 2016, the day after Fisher's death, her mother, Debbie Reynolds, suffered a stroke at the home of her son, Todd, where the family was planning Fisher's burial arrangements. She was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where she died later that afternoon. According to Todd Fisher, Reynolds' son and Carrie's brother, he said, "I want to go be with Carrie now," and immediately suffered the stroke that ended her life. On January 5th, 2017, a joint private memorial was held for Fisher and Reynolds. Fisher was cremated while her mother was entombed. A portion of Fisher's ashes were laid to rest besides Reynolds in a crypt at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills. The remainder of Carrie Fisher's ashes are held in a gigantic novelty Prozac pill.
That's adorable.
So
Wow.
Carrie Fisher's ashes are in a big Prozac pill, which, you know, she I'm sure those were her wishes. I'm sure that she thought that was funny. Good for her. But imagine being like Billie Lourd, who's a tremendous young actress now. She lost her mom and her grandma in, I mean, two people who were as close to her as, that's a rough go for little Billie Lourd, she's probably only 17, 18 years old then, because she's in her early 20s now. That's rough. All right. What else do we got? Anything else happening here that we need to talk about? Yeah.
So did you see the update on the Gabby Petito, like how they got to the Carlton Reserve?
No. Fill me in.
The parents decided the night before that because the reserve was closed, that when they were opening it, that they wanted to go and help the FBI with the search.
Okay.
And so in the morning, both of them showed up. And isn't it just interesting how close they got to where the body was?
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, and that brings us to that maybe they had some idea that he was gone and that he was dead, because maybe they had been in some form of communication with him.
Yeah, he had a burner phone, and they have a burner phone, and
And they hadn't heard from him in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And, you know, mom started to freak out. And so dad finally went, okay, we'll go and we'll find out. And then they called the FBI and said, well, I think we should look over here. And they went right to the area where he was.
Where he's camping, right?
I guess this story still has legs, although, maybe we should just move away from it. But we now need to see what happens with these parents, because you're right. If that is what you just presented here, if that is true, we have some more questions for the Laundries. They were not helpful. Not only were they not helpful, but their lack of help was just cruel and unusual towards the Petito family.
And do you have regrets today? Like, did you not think that he might off himself?
I'm sure mom worried about that, wouldn't you?
Right, but wouldn't it have been better then to have him caught?
Than dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think, right? But, man, these people...
That's what I'm saying. You get into that, like that thought process. If they really did know he was there, if you go and you give him up, I mean, he could possibly take his own life in jail and stuff like that. But I think the likelihood of that happening is a lot less than if he's left to his own devices out in the middle of a reserve.
But let me tell you my main criticism of the parents.
You make a good point. Go ahead, James. I don't know what to say. I'm so conflicted about all of this. James?
Okay, so the parents, in their attempt to protect their son and help him escape justice, gave him horrible advice by telling him to go stay out in the swamp. That is so stupid. He should have gone to Mexico. He had a 4-day head start. He could have been there before anyone knew he was gone.
If that's what happened, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're pretty sure he went to the swamp and got eaten or took his own life. Well,
I don't know that this wasn't his plan. He was already thinking about.
Well, if you're the parent, you say, listen, you'd be better off turning yourself in. You're going to go out and die in the swamp. And if you're going to try and hide out, you can't hide out in America, ding dong. You got to go to Mexico and try and get to like Guatemala or Nicaragua or Honduras or someplace where they don't keep up with this. They're not going to know who you are. They're not even going to be looking for you there. And they told him to go hang out in the swamp. That's stupid advice. If you are going to help your kid get away with the murder, give them better advice. Don't go send them off to die in the swamp anyway. That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I just would think as a parent today, if you're their parent, his parents, you're waking up going, why didn't we do something before this happened? Oh, just like, I get you don't want him to be in jail, but at the same time, you'd rather have him dead than in jail?
Yeah, it's just stupid advice. So I understand they're under a lot of stress and they're not making calm, rational decisions. Emotions are going into play, but that's really bad advice. That's really bad parenting. Like Pugs, you'd say you would help Mace get away with murder if he accidentally was in.
I don't know. I would say that it would be more complicated than just being able to sit here and tell you an exact answer.
So wouldn't you tell him to do something smarter than go try and hoof it in the damn swamps?
I would hope so. That doesn't seem like a very wise suggestion.
Tell him to go to Mexico.
I think we're out of time.
Always do what's right. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May everyone be on your side at each and every turn. And may you have the smoothest ride, receive what you have earned. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May peace be with you every day, in every kind of way. May good things come into your life to have a blessed day. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace.